my Instagram bio says that I observe patterns, and I literally could say that I observe patterns for a living. I live for a living. That's what I like to say. My entrepreneurs, hustlers mentality with super chill, swagged out, divine feminine nature cannot accept anything else but just being Lisa for a living. So I just call it that. But essentially what I do is I observe patterns. One of the most useful skills that YouTube taught me, having a community as well, just connecting with people, but it all comes from pattern recognition. Everything that I analyze is some sort of a recognized mechanism that worked. So I usually see some sort of an effect and I trace back to the cause of it. I can intentionally invoke a certain reaction in me for it to be the cause for a specific effect. That's how I can intentionally alchemize this reality to be what I want it to be. These sort of patterns, but also patterns within patterns. It's like a never-ending fractal. Honestly, just weaponizing my neurodivergency. I'll just proudly own it at this point. No one diagnosed me, but all the coolest, swaggiest, most creative, most emotionally intelligent people that I know are just slightly autistic. I just showed you the process of pattern recognition within the overall structure of my niche, right? And how I make videos and why I make them and how I come up with these ideas. So it's an interesting insight into my inner world and how I express it outwards to you. But think about pattern recognition within the technical skill of YouTube. Content creation, when it's authentic and intentional, needs to be marketed and thought out in a way where it works with the algorithm. So naming videos, looking at thumbnails, thinking what you will think, how you feel. There's so many problems in the world, and it guarantees success to the people who know how to apply their knowledge and solve them. And I love seeing problems because I'm not scared of them. I love to see an issue within myself because I know that I can spot a pattern there, put a framework on it, think about the thinking, and dissolve it. Target people who have been stuck within these same loops and provide them the solution. Love problems. Give me problems, literally. Bring in the challenge. And these same pattern recognition skills allowed me to notice that the best performing videos on my channel are around confidence, values, friendships, relationships, and independence. I have an avatar of my audience in front of me. And usually, I'm just giving you a little secret insight. Usually if the audience is organic, if everything works how it should, if the relationship is genuine and truly engaging, where in my comments you can see people referring to videos from months ago, you really study me, you really feel me as a person, you really connect to the brand. Even calling it a brand is weird because I've been creating it in such an authentic way that calling it a brand is strange. But you get what I mean. If the relationship is built in the way that I just described, the public speaker, the holder of the community, ends up being the gatekeeper to a digital third space that we all enjoy. And it just radiates whatever is the niche for that community. And it brings in so much new information and so much potential for growth, so much profit for every part. I'm doing this in service to humanity. It's not just because I'm a yapper. So actually Mawuli, my friend from the creative direction, artistic expression, my favorite part of the internet, just released a video. He shared that video with me. It was unlisted, so I got limited access to it. And he actually expressed this idea that the speaker becomes the gatekeeper of the third space. And it's so valuable. It is a pattern within a pattern. It is a never-ending fractal of human evolution that shows how whatever you tolerate within yourself, whatever you accumulate and validate, the belief system that you approve of within is what reflects outward. And we manifest all the time, right? Obvious truth. You don't just manifest as in oh, I want this, I get this, let me figure out ways to do this so I can get this. No, manifestation is literally just existing. You just live, you manifest things. This is not something that you choose to do. However, there are intentional ways to manifest. There are ways to alchemize reality. That's how you intentionally craft and shape shift in order to make your outer world reflect whatever is inside of you. But that depends on the level of your awareness that you have accumulated in order to reshape and restructure those inner beliefs in order to reflect them outwards. Being the gatekeeper of our digital third space that we all enjoy so much, magnifying some of your thoughts, holding space and opening this space for more knowledge to multiply within your lives. Like this is literally just a little portal to open up portals. Like I don't need you to give me your energy. I want you to take everything here that you can take from videos, from things that I say, from calls that we have, from things that I write, from posts that I create, from audiovisual experiences I make happen, stories that I tell. I want you to take all of this and put it into practice within your life. Literally take it, steal it, create on it. I don't care if you steal my ideas, if you share my quotes, if you make theme pages around the things that I share. Literally steal it. This is a little portal within the portal. I want this to reflect outwards and be used in a way that can multiply the truth. Not multiply. Truth can be multiplied. It's one. Magnified. Magnified and translated within your own frame to open more portals. And it's so natural. Like it's an intrinsic purpose. It's like I just act as a fractal. I didn't choose this. I open up portals within portals. That's just what I do. That's how I exist. How I live is fulfillment and alignment. So it's not like, oh, I need to do this to be fulfilled. I need to do this to live. This is my life. This was so strangely deep for the beginning of the video, and I haven't even started talking about what I essentially wanted to touch on, which is literally, I wrote notes about how to make the world submit to you. But actually this intro, this hook storytelling situation was super needed. I had to make you understand how deeply I cherish the chain of actions and reactions, the cause and effect. I wrote a post a few days ago on actions, reactions, and why I call the brand that. People have been asking me. I created a logo a few days ago. This is going to be so big. I'm so excited about this. This is such a passion project, and I have really, really deep trust in the fact that I will magnify this authenticity and make it something huge and very important and impactful. It will serve as a space, as an opening. I have a vision for it. It just needs more refinement and patience in order to work authentically, because I just don't want to monetize anything that's monetizable. I really want this to be like a true manifestation of passion turned into value, which it already is, but you know, value within this 3D world. Let's just read what I wrote. You are an alchemist perpetuating reactions by sustaining them through emotions, which then crystallize that vibrational frequency into reality. You are an alchemist, whether you are conscious of it or not, and you're using your validated beliefs and creating your reality outwards. To become a conscious alchemist and choose the outcomes intentionally, you need to work on your focus and awareness. And here I explain what actions and reactions is, why I call the brand that, and just essentially my understanding, my idea behind it. It's sort of also to be felt. It's don't try to understand it, really like deep it. I love the word deep. I think it's a UK wording, but truly like, okay? Actions and reactions are two equals of a polar molecule. The same way frequency is equal to physical reality by being the opposite. Codependency of cause and effect make them one, allowing the observer whose awareness is elevated to outsmart the loop. This means you become the one who chooses the direction of this perpetual chain via your intentional responses to each wave. That's why the logo is like this. You initiate direction of movement through your reaction, just like reality's reaction is triggered by your emotion-driven actions, because emotion is energy in motion. My brain makes me emotional sometimes. The most frequent issue I recognized as a pattern here on this channel, and that I've noticed that my audience's avatar struggles with the most, is loneliness and misalignment of your reality with the values that are internally within you. What does it state? It states that we are ambitious, we are very driven, we have very high standards, we know our potential. So essentially, it's like in the Matrix, you know that you're picked. But the truth of the matter is, what was now told, not every candidate is qualified. You know your potential, great job. Now just do something about it. Because it doesn't make you top 1% to realize that you can be top 1%, you know? It just makes you see. It doesn't make you do anything with the seeing. It's like knowing and understanding a truth isn't the same thing. It's like understanding and using it isn't the same thing. Actually, Near Knowledge has a really good saying about this. Spirituality without applying it is just vanity, or something like that. There is a full saying. Spirituality without altering your reality is just vanity. Something like that. You know something to be true. You know how to use it. But there's this block within shedding the old identity, stepping into the desired reality, which really, really needs your full awareness and just like full action and emotion, energy in motion. Energy in motion is actually action, not like movement. And I'm going to touch on that. Movement doesn't mean that the direction of the movement is right, but aligned energy in motion creates this proper direction. It really propels you forward. If you really, really choose it properly, if you intentionally alchemize it and like, okay, this is where I'm going, then this is action. And it can be moved in stillness. This most productive, most progressive moment can be in stillness. So progression isn't moving through time and space and seeing different perspectives, analyzing it. Progress is just honing in on something that will optimize the value, the quality of the decision. So, for example, I watched this video, how to scale your business to 100K per month. Okay, now you're in a position where you have some sort of a ground to work with. You are of some sort of value, right? You're trying to multiply it. You're working with something already. So you want to add things onto an already working thing to make it create more value. So many different directions you can go. Should we create funnels? No funnels? Organic outreach? Cold calls? Should we hire more people? Should we get rid of people? Should we do this strategy, that strategy? So many different things that can be applied, and it just overwhelms you. And the video was made in order to help clear that confusion. And the main thing that I took away from this video that I can apply right now is choosing a strategy that will optimize the value of your result. So, okay, outreach. What kind of outreach? Do we do emails? Do we do cold calls? Do we hire an agency to do that for us? So you look at all of your options and you see, okay, how do I optimize the value? What would mean progress for me? In that scenario, scaling up to 100K per month is the optimal value, is the goal. So which one would make me more money? Hiring more people or getting rid of people? And then you make the decision based on what optimizes. Let me give you another example. Mawuli, he's now creating a digital space on YouTube, which is revolutionary. And I need to use that word. I'm reading The Diary of a CEO right now. In one of the chapters, Stephen Bartlett was explaining habituation and how the word revolutionary is so overused, and all the things that are so overused in marketing, like Black Friday, like so overly saturated that it doesn't hit the spot in your brain in the same way. So when I say revolutionary, you don't really understand. But what I'm saying here is like futurism. That's what Mawuli does. And we're just going back and forth on the idea of 360 video form. That's what he does. He uses this camera that allows you to see 360. And so much could be created on it. So much could be changed about it. So it applies to so many different realms of our experience digitally, because what it does, it mimics the physical world. And what we see right now in the digital space is everything trying to mimic the physical world. What could we do to bring ourselves, while in the digital space, while being in these digital third places, being the gatekeepers? What could we do to make it feel more human and connect, rather than, because we're essentially following the rules of the game, but what could we do while following the rules of the game, mimicking the reality within the digital space, but also at the same time creating openings that would allow us to really connect and create less separation. Let me actually replay what he sent me, because it was a deep truth. I remember I wanted to write it down. His friend said something about optimization.
I realized too, I was having this conversation with my friend. He was talking about like maximum utilization for certain aspects of your business. So it's like you can, once it's time to like modify something or find a point of improvement, you base that on the maximum utilization of the components that are there. And I feel like in the attention economy, it's like tools that you use for retention.
So yeah, in the content creation, it's tools for retention. So that 360 content could be a tool for retention, could be a tool for more connection, could create space for more value, optimize the value. That's what I just talked about in that example with scaling the business, right? So you see what tools you can utilize to create more value, to optimize. And that value within the video that I just talked about was scaling the business, creating more revenue. Here within content creation, it's creating like optimizing retention, which then translates to revenue. So essentially we're talking about money, but it's deeper than that. We know what we're talking about, right? We're optimizing the digital space. Now that we're talking about this so deeply and so in detail with so many examples, we are talking about manifestation. But it links, again, I'm not talking about this for no reason. You are an alchemist creating your outer reality through being aware of your responses. Holding back a reaction is just as relevant as intentionally creating an emotional response in order to initiate a chain of responses, okay? What is the value that you're trying to optimize? It again all comes back to having a very clear purpose, having a very clear why. The reason why you can't see your outer world reflect your inner world is because, first of all, you don't have a clear why. That's why you can't stick to certain routines. Yes, of course, you are working on your thinking, you're doing all the self-mastery and help yourself see through limiting beliefs and self-sabotaging loops and all of these things that are holding you back. But unless you have a very, very clear why, you cannot use these tools to pick and choose, to intentionally decide which decision will optimize the value, because the value isn't clear. What are you working towards? What is that goal? And I explained my sense of purpose and my why and the value that I am trying to optimize and multiply in the beginning. And I really love how this links together. I never script my videos. I just create bullet points and just brief understanding of the direction in which I'm going. So I'm really grateful that this is just divine design. Look how this perfectly linked together. Have that sense of direction. Without clear direction, every step that you will be making is a bet. And you're only ever going to win betting on yourself, because you are the only thing you are in control of. Understand this, when you're trying to control reality, because that's what alchemizing it is, you are trying to lead the way for reality to restructure and reshape itself in response to your actions. We're going to come back to why actions isn't actually progress and why you shouldn't measure success on actions. But stick with me here. You are not able to control reality through controlling reality, but through mastering your thoughts. By utilizing tools to help you master reality, your focus, your awareness is still on reality. So you're buying this journal in order to control your outer reality through tweaking your thoughts. It's not full awareness on my thoughts and how I can shape myself to be the person in response to whom the reality restructures itself. I don't even have to touch reality for the world to respond to me in ways that I want. Worry and fear is out of the equation. Absolutely not there. Anxiety is just lack of this awareness. So it's not about collecting more information and gathering more of this knowledge. Again, it's just extensions and looking for solutions within the outer world. Seeking knowledge from within. It's coming back to this awareness, collecting awareness. Look at knowledge as awareness. That's essentially what it is. Wisdom isn't collected information or stats or data. But it is. It could be put into practice and crystallized more in like a database, right? Which is great. That's what I make these videos for. I write for this exact reason. Knowledge is crystallized awareness, and awareness can only be gathered in silence and isolation and through experience. Can't be really monetized. Like, I can't sell you a solution like this. I can sell you a door opening. I can sell you some sort of a sprinkle of awareness, an invitation, and then you do all the work. I cannot give anything to you. And I feel like it's specifically designed by God for this exact reason, because it's such a powerful opening, such an insanely reality shifting portal, so much awareness and wisdom in it. Only if my human ego had the chance to gain a little bit of validation for it, like a little bit of credit. If my ego had the chance to say, oh, I taught you this, it would have. I'm not saying this like personally about me. I'm just saying in general about the human experience of teaching ancient knowledge and universal truths like this, and really studying laws and applying them. Applying is key, remember, because spirituality without shifting your reality is vanity. I love neuronknowledge. He's the GOAT. Watch the video that I made on personal brands, why you shouldn't make a personal brand unless you're going to be authentic, and you can't fake it, so just don't. If you're not, just don't. Authentic gateways like this are difficult to monetize, and that's beautiful. That's delayed gratification. Credentials are in your spirit. Your reward is within the process of serving, being this third space gatekeeper. It's so rewarding. However, it's like a test within the process. It's a qualification system. It's like, are you qualified? Is your authenticity actually that authentic? You know what I mean? Are you gonna stay even if you can't monetize so much value and so much energy output that you're giving? Can you stay for a second and actually see how much value you're generating? How rich you are just by generating value. Just, what is receiving value? What is this value? This is exactly what I just said in the beginning. The purpose, your why is the value that you're trying to increase, is everything that you're utilizing, all the tools and optimizing the systems for to increase this value. And me doing my best to optimize my skills and pattern recognition and serving is optimizing the value of my why. I'm already receiving value back just by generating it. So I really do not feel aligned with creating a community, a paid subscription with access to me, and selling a course or a mindfulness technique or any kind of monetizable mindfulness practice that I could make. I had so many opportunities to do it. In the beginning of my YouTube journey, when my video went viral, the one with values actually, I'm gonna link this story that I'm gonna tell you right now to how your reality will never reflect something that you really wanted to reflect. It will never reflect your values, your desired outcome, until your perception accommodates it. Your reality will not be lived until you're able to live it before it's lived outwards. But let me tell you the story. So when my channel was growing, as it was receiving more recognition, more attention, I started receiving a lot of emails and DMs from people offering me their services. Potentially when I get big, hire them and work with them. So it was like, let me edit your videos, let me clip your videos, let me make thumbnails for you. I had growth operators reaching out to me. I actually had a growth operator, sort of like a manager in the beginning. It was so cool. I was telling my mom I have a manager for like a month. I tested out that thing, clipping my videos, making short form content for me, overseeing the email list, communicating with people back, and my job was essentially to just create these videos. He even wanted to edit the long form content, but I just wanted to have full control of that. So he didn't do it. But a growth operator is a really nice thing. Once you're aligned with it, it gives you more time to pump out videos. It makes it easier for you. And he just wants a share of your revenue. So it's really great. The reason why it didn't work for me is because my perception didn't accommodate the reality that I wanted to see outwards. I didn't even really want that outcome. I didn't really want it. I was forcing myself to want it because it was extremely anxiety inducing, extremely uncomfortable, to the point where I froze and I just did what everyone around me told me to do. And I was like, okay, that's probably the right thing to do. Like, I probably should post a lot. I should name my videos like this. I should create content of this sort. I should work towards a goal of creating a paid community, because that was the objective of the growth operator that I had. He wanted to do the Hamza move, grow the audience to an extent to which I could then monetize it by providing a paid subscription with access to the community. And there was demand for it. Like, people were literally asking for it. All of that was happening while I was still crystallizing the values that I even bring. I didn't understand the value I provided. It was never the goal to get big on YouTube. Now it's inevitable once I discovered and recognized patterns and realized the why. Now it just will happen. But I couldn't even reach that goal, which I created to be relevant in my mind, because my perception and my values, my validated beliefs didn't reflect the goal. It wasn't that my reality didn't reflect my inner world. It was that my inner world didn't accommodate reality reflecting what I felt. It's a different sort of dynamic. I think I should make more videos on it. It's quite a complex process. Reality isn't something to be manipulated through wishful thinking or through repetition or through hypnotizing your mind, reframing your subconscious to believe in something if you don't believe in it. It's not wishful thinking and affirmations in a mirror. You can't let go by trying to let go. It's the same thing. So reality can only be shifted in a way where you allow yourself to feel a certain way. You generate confidence in living a certain way within yourself, and full focus and full awareness is within this feeling of you. You're not touching physical reality within this process at all. And that's how it alchemizes, because reality changes through mirroring what you tolerate within yourself. More movement isn't progress. More movement can be just tweaking. Actual productive change can be done in stillness, and it's usually what's the most effective, most functional way to reshape reality. Sitting in stillness, meditation, action doesn't mean progress. Slowing down to recalibrate and align with the proper direction will optimize value. The first step is understanding what the value is. Next step is understanding how you can optimize and utilize the tools in order to scale that value. That is usually through more stillness and less movement, which again indicates that action doesn't usually equal progress. Alchemize and transmute all limiting beliefs and thinking patterns into something new to shape your identity, crystallize it, and ground yourself in it so much that the outer world doesn't even matter. If you can't control your impulses, emotional patterns, habits, how are you expecting to control your reality? It will not reshape itself to accommodate what you want to feel inside. It's not how the dynamic works.